Hello and welcome back to another episode of Fit Chicks Chat. My name is Amanda Quinn. I'm one of the co-founders of Fit Chicks Academy, and I'm so happy to have you here. Today, we're going to be talking about what I would do differently and what I would do exactly the same if I was starting my coaching business today. I'm really excited to share this with you because I feel like, this past month, we've had our fitness and nutrition expert certification open for enrollment, our holistic nutrition weight loss coaching program open for enrollment, as well as our holistic perimenopause and menopause program. So we had three of our certifications open for enrollment, having all these amazing new coaches coming into our world, excited and ready to be able to just step in and inspire and lead their communities. And so knowing that there's so many people stepping into this world and looking back at our own journey of, what inspired us to start coaching in the first place, which was really wanting to give a new opportunity and a new space and lead as a heart-centered health coach in this industry. It really just made me reflect on this thing of like, well, what would I do the same? And what would I maybe change looking back? So what I want to start off with today is just sharing some of the do's, some of the things that if you're starting out today as a coach, if you're an aspiring coach, if you're planning on becoming a coach, or if you're a brand new coach to this world, these are some things that I wanted to share with you that you can consider doing to help you reach more clients, build a successful outcome for your business, and start actually doing the thing that you love. So, the very first thing I want you to think about is doing something that's outside of the box for income opportunities. So, for revenue sources. When we started our company, yes, we focused only on boot camp. Like, that's what we did. We like eat, breathe, sleep, like everything. Like, that's all we did was focus on boot camps. But once we had a machine up and running and it was running like clockwork month after month after month, we then said, okay, what other opportunities are there? So we started offering one-to-one coaching, online coaching. But one of the things that we did differently too was that we started offering corporate wellness programming. We started offering bridal boot camps. We started thinking about different things that we could do that would be very specific to a targeted audience and give us a whole new avenue, a whole new revenue source. So I really encourage you, if you're starting your business out, think about things that are outside of the box for income opportunities. Fill in the gaps that others might not be filling. Fill in the gaps that are huge gaps in the marketplace and think about a solution, right? So you're providing a solution to a problem. One of the best ones I honestly feel that right now up and coming would be something that to really focus on, and I would focus on, is corporate wellness programs, school programs, or anything to do with like menopause programs, boomer programs, that kind of thing. Our demographic is aging, so there's definitely opportunity. Menopause programming and an aging demographic, there is a lot more focus and conversation happening in regards to that demographic. And it's just a really great opportunity to give a new space and a new place for them to feel heard, to feel seen, to feel understood, because it is a completely different stage in life. On top of that, corporate wellness programs, I love corporate wellness programs because when you offer corporate wellness programs, you can step in to a corporate wellness setting, so into a business, and you can do like a lunch and learn program or some sort of a workshop. And immediately you are seen as the authority figure for all of the employees of that corporation, of that business. They look at you immediately because you are given that sort of rite of passage, that trustworthiness instantly, just because you're being hired by their company. So it's a really great opportunity, even if you offer lunch and learn programs for free at different companies. It's a really great way for you to be able to get your face, your name, and your brand in front of tons of potential clients that would then hire you. If the company is not looking to hire a wellness program, it gives you an opportunity at least to be able to step in front of people that are potential customers. And then, of course, school programs or bridal boot camps or things like that. These are all just niche specific programs, right? And school programming is such a big thing as well, because not only for students, but also for teachers, right? How many people are in this place where they're like, I feel like I don't know where to turn. I feel like I'm struggling to take, on all these different hats. And I want something that's simple and practical and that I can do right after school, or I can do, at my lunch break or things like that. So if you can develop a program that allows for you to come to them versus them having to come to you, it's a win-win for everybody. So really just start thinking outside the box. That's my first thing when it comes to do. Now, the second thing that is a definite do is run group programs, not just one-to-one coaching. I can't stress this enough. Group programs are your opportunity to be able to make more impact, more income, and scale your business faster than one to one. When you work one to one with clients, it's an opportunity to build a relationship, definitely. And it's an opportunity to be able to be very specific towards someone's goals. However, group programs, whether in group doesn't have to mean like 20 people, 30 people, it could mean like 3, 5 people, like it can be a small group. But this gives you the opportunity to be able to impact more people and to be able to offer this type of programming on a massive scale, right? So when we started our business, that's exactly what we did. We focused on group bootcamp programs. And as some of you may know, we scaled our business from 7 women to a 7-figure business teaching group fitness classes outdoors and in rental spaces. So we didn't have our own studio spaces. We rented out spaces and we taught classes in parks, and we scaled it to 7 figures nationwide. And we did this because we knew that once we had a model and a system in place, we could expand very quickly. We could give the model to other coaches and trainers and then have them run that type exact programming in their communities, allowing us to grow and scale without it having to be physically us teaching. When you can figure out a model like that, where it doesn't rely on you actually being the person at the front of the room or online on the screen, but you can actually develop a model and a system that you can then expand and grow on, that's when it allows for you to scale in such a much easier and faster way. So I definitely recommend group over one-to-one, but if you're starting out, maybe you have one or two one-to-one clients just to sort of build your confidence and your skills, but definitely focus on group. Now, the next thing that I want to mention is a big do is build a program, not just a class. We've talked about this before on the podcast, and this is such a huge thing. The difference between a program and a class is classes are run by like studios, bigger gyms, facilities, where they have a class, you show up, and whether you show up or not, nobody really cares. There's no progressive programming element to it. There's no continuation. There's no consistency between the participants, between the instructors. There's very little sort of continuity that will then help your clients feel like they're moving towards an end goal. A program has a start date, it has an end date, it has a goal in mind. Everything is progressive and builds. It is the same people showing up to the classes day after day or week after week. When we run our programs, it allowed for us to be able to run classes 2 times per week, and we offered 8-week programs. We knew during that 8-week period that everyone in that class, it was the same people for that 8-week period, developing friendships, building community, building connection, allowing us to then create an atmosphere and an environment that allowed for just growth and allowed for people to really feel like they were moving towards a goal, right? So we always had an end goal in mind with a start date and an end date. So a program is just so much more effective than just dropping classes, because as we all know, we've probably heard it from many, many clients over the years, which is, I have a gym membership and I just don't go, right? That's a class. That's a gym membership. People just have these things, but there's no accountability, there's no connection, and there's no bigger reason why. A program, it has this continuity, it has structure that basically encourages your participants to continue to show up. And then the other thing I want to share with you in terms of a do, if you are a coach right now or an aspiring coach and you're ready to start coaching and start building your business, and this is something that I would do and Laura and I would do in our business, is start building your email list from day one. See, you don't need a website. You don't need everything to be super complicated, but just start building a list and nurturing that list, meaning email them on a regular basis, talk to them on a regular basis. Don't ghost them, right? Communicate with them and share personal stories, wins, valuable information and tips. Give them as much information as possible so that you can build a connection and a relationship where they will then know you, like you, and trust you. But an email list, the reason why I say email list over social media following, and social media following is amazing, don't get me wrong, but an email list is kind of this gold, because when somebody sees something on social media, it's usually by chance, right? It's called disruptive marketing. So they'll be scrolling and then they'll see something and then they're like, oh yeah, that's interesting. And then they might stop and they might not. An email, if you're sending out an email and you have a list and somebody sees the email and they open it, it's because they genuinely want to hear from you. They're interested in what you are sharing. The connection as well as the attention to what you're stating and what you're sharing is so much greater. It's not as distracting as social media, and it's on purpose. So email lists are just like, we always say emails are queen in our world, because emails are truly the thing that if we can get everybody off of social media and onto our email list, we control the narrative, we control the environment, and we control the ability to be able to communicate in any way, shape, or form. And our members and the people that are on our database, they have the choice to be able to open it if it's interesting to them or move past it. But it's not just a by chance opportunity. So I definitely recommend just start building your email list from day one. So those are some of the do's that I definitely recommend. And the last one that I want to share is just treat it like a business, not a side hustle. Like from the jump, from the very beginning, day one, I want you to really be like, I'm the CEO of this, and I have a vision and I have a dream, and I'm going to make sure that this makes sense. I'm going to block out time for myself to work on this. I'm going to not just work in my business, meaning working on programming or developing scheduling and things like that, but I'm actually going to work on the CEO side of things, where I'm going to be looking at my numbers. I'm going to be looking at my client journey. I'm going to be looking at my income goals and seeing how close I am to reaching those goals and how many members I need to reach those goals. And I'm going to reverse engineer all of those numbers and all of those skills so that I can then figure out exactly what I need to do to be able to reach those goals. I'm going to look at my marketing. So that's the difference between working in your business, which is like, I'm going to work on developing workouts and programs, versus working on your business in CEO time, which is looking at it from the lens of, how do I propel this business forward? So treat it like a business, not just a side hustle, because this is your opportunity to shine. Now, again, looking back though, not everything is about just do's, right? There's some things that are don'ts. And so some of the things that I want to share with you now are some of the don'ts, some of the things to avoid if you want to grow your business. So the very first thing, and I always say this, but don't wait too long to get started. Please know clarity comes from action. What do I mean by that? When we move forward, when we do something, everything becomes more clear. The next step becomes more clear. When we take the first step, the next step will show up for you. And I promise you, I know oftentimes we sit back and we're like, okay, but like, I'll do it when I have more time, when I have more money, when I feel ready, when I have confidence. Once I've worked with 5 clients and I built up, some testimonials and some skills, it's so easy to continue to put this off, but this is your life and this is your dream and this is your goal. And I really want to encourage you, don't wait to get started. Just take action. Every day, take one small action towards the bigger goal. Every single day, if you take one small action towards the bigger goal, you're going to become more and more clear on how you're going to reach that big goal. So please don't wait too long. Just start today. So like as soon as you're done hearing like this podcast episode, listening, I want you to just be like, okay, what's my first thing I'm going to do? And on that note, don't overthink on anything, right? Done is better than perfect. Launch messy, do things janky. It's okay. You can figure it out after, but just get something out into the world. Perfectionism will literally keep you stuck. When we started our business, we didn't have business coaches. We didn't have graphic designers. We didn't have anyone. And Laura and I, we were building everything on our own. Our meal plans, they looked terrible. They were like Excel spreadsheets, just sending them out to our clients. They weren't perfect. They weren't amazing, but the content itself was high value. Our member site was really kind of like, it looked like it was like, scotch taped together, but it worked and it still made us, over 7 figures. People are not as fussy about those as long as the quality is there with the content. Just don't overthink it. Put it out there. And then when you have space and time to start perfecting things or to try to look back at it, once you have some momentum in your business, that's when you go back and you go, okay, you know what? I'm going to rework this template, or I'm going to rework my membership portal, or I'm going to work on these things. But at least for now, I'm just going to get it out the door. I'm going to move and take action so I can get clarity. So that's number 2. Now, the third thing that I want you to avoid if you're trying to grow or if you want to just even begin your business, is avoid one-off sessions and drop-in classes. I can't stress this enough. This is like one of my biggest things that I tell all of our students in Fit Chicks Academy is please, please, please avoid drop-in sessions and one-off sessions and one-off coaching sessions, because there is no predictability in income. You can't scale not knowing what is happening tomorrow. We need to know what's going to happen tomorrow, which is why when we built our boot camps, it was 8-week programs and you prepaid, you signed up and you paid for that 8-week program at the very beginning of the program. So then we knew over that 8-week period, the income that we were already driving, and then we can start marketing for the next one. It allowed for us to be able to scale and grow really quickly. So really just, if you are someone who right now is offering drop-ins or one-off sessions or anything like that, look at a different way to format your offer into a program where you have a start date and an end date, and it's like a program package. Or that it's like one of the other things that we did for people who worked like shift work or had really unpredictable schedules, we did drop-in passes, but it was like a class pass, and it was, they had to buy bulk. They had to buy 10 classes at once so that then we can increase the revenue. And they also only had a 3-month window to utilize that. So we put a timestamp on it, because without a timestamp, again, it's so easy for someone to hold on to it and then say, I have this, but I don't go. We want to be transformers. We want to help people change their lives. We can't help someone change their lives if they don't have a reason to take action towards their goals. So we need to step into that leadership role and say, I really want to offer this to you. I want to give you flexibility, and you'll have 3 months to complete it. So I highly recommend just switch your format of how you're offering your programming, and you will see massive opportunity in your business. Also, don't skip on investing in mentorship or training. This is the one I'm going to leave you with. You know, when you look at free content, when you watch these masterclasses, when you watch these one-off programs and things like that, they're amazing. They're giving you value and they're giving you information. Our podcast, we try to share so much information with you, but it only gets you so far. You need frameworks, you need accountability, you need community, you need connection. Look for mentors, look to join programs, get the skills and the coaching and the tools that you need to be successful. Think of it not as I'm spending or I'm buying, but think of it as investing. When I invest today, I make back tomorrow, and then I make it back for the rest of my life. Because every skill that you have for the rest of your life. The skill doesn't go away. So invest in your skills, invest in the opportunities to grow, and invest in coaches and people where they've reached the goal that you want, so that you can learn from them and you can really start to grow and become the coach that I know that you're meant to be. You know, you're here listening to this right now because you are someone who is a heart-centered health coach who have so much potential. There's so much opportunity for you to be able to, you know, grow your business, help, you know, whether it be 5 people, 10 people, or 10,000 people. You have so much opportunity. And so I really just want to share with you, like, these are the do's and don'ts that I would do, that I would follow if we were starting our business from scratch right now. I hope this was super helpful for you. And I just can't wait. Like, comment on this episode. Let us know, what is the action you're going to take? What is the thing that you're going to do? What is the thing you're going to let go of? What are you going to shift? What are you going to change? We want to know. We want to know that this is going to impact you in some way, shape, or form, so that you can move forward. Because we know that as soon as you start taking those first few steps, you're not only going to have clarity, but you're also going to have momentum, and momentum is what will continue to move you forward. So on that note, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to Fit Chicks Chat. Of course, every single week, we're presenting you with a new episode. If you love listening, please make sure that you rate our podcast, subscribe, as well as leave a comment. Help other people know just how amazing Fit Chicks Chat is. And of course, if you're interested in any of our certification programs or any of our done-for-you materials for coaches, our membership portals, check it out at fitchicksacademy.com, where you can learn more about all of the programming and opportunities we have. Have an amazing day, everyone, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.